Hi Miss, today our group is going to present about our crisis management plan for AirAsia. And I'm the group leader, Du Wei, and our group has Tan Yilam, Tan Shuxian, Yuan Xin, Wang Wenyi, Raniza, Mariam, Amna, and Ramisa. And next, Wenyi is going to talk about the introduction and the background.
Hello, Miss. I'm Wenyi. First, I will introduce background of company. Asia's main business is low-cost flight services and the online travel service platform. AirAsia was established in 2001 and is Malaysia's second international airline. Tune Air pioneer AirAsia, introducing the idea of being cheap and providing only basic services, becoming the first low-cost airline in the ASEAN region. AirAsia has opened a number of new routes centered on the Kuala Lumpur Hub Airport, creating a multi-voyage point-to-point long-haul aviation network to provide passengers with low-cost, long-distance flight services, outstanding safety and security, and interesting in-flight service experience. AirAsia won the title of World's Best Low-Cost Airline for six consecutive years. So far, AirAsia has 192 domestic and international routes, covering more than 20 countries around the world, and from 6 airlines, including AirAsia and its subsidiaries, AirAsia X, Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines. In addition, AirAsia has partnered with travel technology platform KiwiCom to expand its business at AirAsia.com, creating an online travel service platform and providing services from other airlines. 50 million monthly users can book destination activities, hotels, and flights of more than 100 airlines at AirAsia.com to destinations where AirAsia currently doesn't have routes. AirAsia is not only an aviation company, but will also develop into a one-stop travel service platform and is committed to becoming the leading travel and life platform in the Asia Pacific region. Next. Next is the organization chart of Public Relations Department. We have the following positions. The head of public relations is Wen Xin. Below is Director Shu Xian and the Deputy Director Lu Wei, followed by Information Collector, Planning Specialist, Propaganda Specialist, and Evaluation Specialist. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Veniza, and I'll be talking about the issues faced by the organization due to the coronavirus pandemic. So as we all know, AirAsia was known for flying to 159 cities around the world, which are mainly around Asia. Everyone chooses to fly AirAsia because it's the most accessible and cheaper alternative to other major airlines such as Singapore Airlines and Malaysian Airlines. AirAsia's troubles since the coronavirus pandemic started, when they've garnered a loss of RM 527 million that will most likely last till the end of the year, till a vaccine is found and people feel more safe to fly. And not only that, thousands of customers have no choice but look to get for refunds due to their cancelled flights. My groupmate Ramisa will continue.
Thank you. Now I would like to say that AirAsia Group Chief Executive Tony Fernandez describes that COVID-19 crisis as the toughest challenge the airline has faced since it began operations in 2001. He says the group has been restructured into a leaner and tighter ship, reducing cash expense by at least 50%. Now, AirAsia needs to also take into consideration the money that needs to be paid per month in a fixed operating charges, financing costs, and gas hedging losses, as said by Raymond Yap, an analyst at CIMB Group Holdings PhD. Now, the third point, the best financial choice was to lay off at least 300 or more workers, including cabin crew, pilots, engineers during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is said that 111 of the 1,900 cabin crew members, 172 pilots, and 50 engineers will be the ones facing the layoff. Now, my friend will explain the next slide.
Hi, I'm Tan Ilam. I am working on internal and external audience and the impact to them. First, I will introduce the internet audiences and the impact to them. The employees, also the all stars of AirAsia. It defines all workers and the new hires. Due to the pandemic, AirAsia was forced to run down some positions, holding salaries of top managers and some senior employees to maintain their costs. Next, the investor of AirAsia, they could have impacted as well, since Raymond cut the target price of AirAsia from 1 ringgit to 60 cents per share, while holding its underperformed call on the stocks. Next, it is owner, Malaysian entrepreneur Yang Berbahagia, Tan Sri Dato' Dr. Tony Fernandez, the developer of Tune Air Sdn Bhd, who presented the initial no-frills airline AirAsia to Malaysians. The impact to him is AirAsia reported a core net loss of 1.1 ringgit billion in the latest COVID-19 pandemic. According to Kenanga Research, AirAsia financial year ending December 31, 2020 from previous net loss of 258 million to a broader net loss of 527 million. Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad, passengers traffic across its local airports decreased from 8.50 million passengers recorded a year ago in February by 23.4% to 6.24 million. In February 2020, both domestic and international passengers traffic were down 29.7% to 2.95 million passengers and 16.8% to 3.3 million passengers respectively. Raymond said, "We cut our financial year 2020 passenger growth assumptions from 12% this year to 4%. We have also revised our target price downward from 7.20 ringgit to 5.70 ringgit, reflecting market derating on the back of the blacker economic outlook, both globally and for Malaysia." The external audiences and the impact to them. First, the consumers. Indeed, the primary reason the corporates operate Impact to them was due to the flight in suspensions, passengers being restrained in the country and forced to cancel their trip across states or nations, even though AirAsia have announced that they will provide compensations to the affected consumers. Moreover, the government could have impacted as well, as Raymond said that the present crisis took a massive toll on airline operators, which had suspended flights across the Asian operating countries. Plus, the government's financial funding for airlines could be the risk attached because domestic and international flights were all suspended. Together, the aviation tycoons Tony Fernandes said that the airline had been discussing a loan with the government to facilitate its recent financial position to ride out the difficulties. Last but not least, the business public, which AirAsia having some cooperations on fuel efficiency initiative with business partners such as Airbus and GE. Some business partners are impacted and forced to run down. According to CNA, AirAsia announced that it will stop serving Airbus jets delivery services and evaluate its remaining deliveries as the coronavirus crisis heightens the Malaysian carriers' pressures. Besides it, Muhammad Azmin Ali, the Malaysian Minister of International Trade and Industry, as well as the government's designed second in command, he said that we'll have a possible merging between AirAsia and MAV, which is a private airline located in Malaysia and functioning in numerous nations to support the country's airline industry. Thank you.
Hello, I am Tan Susian, and I want to explain the proposal of Public Relations Crisis Communication Plan. And I'm doing the internal audience. And the internal audience of AirAsia is employee. The COVID-19 has made a huge impact and it has affected the aviation industry badly. It is a tough for the aviation industry as due to the pandemic. There are many flight suspensions and this has caused us a major drop in the sales of AirAsia. The objective of the crisis communication plan is to minimize the harm in both parties, which are the company and employees. With the current conditions, AirAsia is forced to run down several positions, hold top manager salaries, and also having both AirAsia company management and senior staff to pledge with wage reduction in order to control costs. This COVID-19 pandemic is a very long and severe challenge for AirAsia. Because of this compelling reason, AirAsia made this major decision. AirAsia aims to achieve a situation where it will have the least harm in both parties and to work together to overcome the difficulty with the employees. AirAsia has to communicate with the employee and to allow them to understand what the company is currently facing. AirAsia will need to inform their employee that their salary will be reducted temporarily and run down some position with a proper and sincere manner. The company economic situation should be clearly explained to employees so that the employee will understand and hope the employee will be considerate of the current situation as it is a tough time for AirAsia. AirAsia has to express the occurrence of the COVID-19 pandemic is unpredictable and the company will need to appreciate the employee. They are willing to work and overcome this crisis together. AirAsia need to communicate and tailor the information to employee in the form of a notice and it will be sent to every employee email. Besides, AirAsia will have to publish this news on the company internal website. It is a tough time for the employee as it is a major decision to be made. In order to reduce the unwanted chaos in the internal working environment, it has to be a staff who have authority to post this news. It is suggested that the top leader announce and publish the news because he or she is the higher decision maker of behalf of the company. Next.
Hi, Miss. My name is Luwei. Can hear it. I'm going to explain about the objective of crisis management plan for external audiences. AirAsia external audiences consist of the public, shareholders, and consumers. The objectives of this crisis management plan are to respond to COVID-19 pandemic that has negatively affected the company's profitability, reputation, or ability to operate. Official press release must be held to inform the public about what is the company going to do in this situation to ease down the damage caused to the external audiences, including cancelled flight or the fall of the stock market. Spokesperson in charge of the press conference must be holding the right to speak for AirAsia to create credibility. For instance, Chief Executive Officer or the Head of Public Relations. The press conference is encouraged to be held online to practice social distancing. Media advisories will be sent to various media as an invitation to participate in the online press conference. 我觉得我们要重新开始 ，sorry， 我的那个 note 乱掉 ，sorry。
刚才我的 OK 吗？我知道我讲的有点卡啦，但是你们听到来 OK 吗？
可以啊，
所以
其实是有一些是卡卡这样子，不过我觉得哎呀没有什么啦，随便啦。
sorry， 我要重新录过。
没事。
Hi, Miss. My name is Luwei, and I'm going to explain about objective of crisis communication plan for external audiences. AirAsia external audiences consist of the public, shareholders, and consumers. The objective of this crisis management plan are to respond to COVID-19 pandemic that has negatively affected the company's profitability, reputation, or ability to operate. Official press release must be held to inform the public about what is the company going to do in this situation to ease down the damage caused to the external audiences, including cancelled flight or the fall of the stock market. Spokesperson in charge of the press conference must be holding the right to speak for AirAsia to create credibility. For instance, Chief Executive Officer or the Head of Public Relations. The press conference is encouraged to be held online to practice social distancing. Media advisories will be sent to various media as an invitation to participate in the online press conference. AirAsia can also announce any significant decision on their official website or social media. Constant updates should be made to reassure the chains. Constant updates should be made to reassure that AirAsia is still providing services and is playing its roles to cut down the COVID-19 chains of infection. Besides, new safety measures have to be composed and promoted as soon as possible to avoid misunderstanding before serving the consumers in the plane. It will reflect the company's sensitivity on prioritizing the consumer safety and build the company's positive image. And to further improve AirAsia's reputation, the company is suggested to lend a hand to the society. Contribution in various forms such as cash donation, free transportation service, or discount will effectively earn the public's interest. Moreover, AirAsia has to host an emergency general meeting inviting the external shareholders to discuss future planning of collaboration. AirAsia must be giving confident and practical speech about future recovery plans that will minimize the shareholders' damage. The best position to give out the speech would be the Chief Financial Officer. These steps are vital in order to settle down the external audiences and build brand loyalty as a result. Thank you.
Hi, Miss. I'm Wen-Xin. So I'm going to talk about the integrated marketing communication plans. The pandemic has directly affected the sales of AirAsia as there are many countries that restricts people to travel, and this had led to many flight suspensions. AirAsia is going through a tough times as there are many customers who have applied for a refund due to the suspension of flights and the restrictions of traveling by their government. The product that AirAsia offers is the service and flights for the public to travel. There are people that cancelled their plan due to movement control order. AirAsia can offer flights to them to meet their demands. In addition, AirAsia will need to attract people by offering low prices as people in current situations might not have the extra budget as before because there are many people affected by the pandemic. AirAsia can continue to use price penetration strategy as AirAsia target audience mostly pursue for budget traveling. By offering low prices, it can attract more people that demand to travel, especially during low economies. Besides, AirAsia will need to retain their company sales by having promotion to attract the public. Therefore, promotion plays a role to encourage the public to travel. AirAsia can prioritize domestic traveling when the movement control order ends. AirAsia will need to advertise on social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and etc. to inform their followers and the public of their offers on their airfares. In addition, AirAsia will need to promote the safety measures such as social distancing. Customers will need to wear a mask, measure their body temperature before going on board in order to reduce the risk of infection for both parties. Apart from that, AirAsia places their product in a way that is convenient for the people to get. For example, their website, social media platforms, and etc. With that, it will be able for the customers to look and search when they intend to purchase. The people in AirAsia are the employees in the organization are trained to provide high quality service on board. Will be good as AirAsia values customers and also care for them, allowing the customers to feel comfortable and welcome on board. AirAsia working culture is to put people at their first priority as AirAsia mission is to provide low cost airfares, but at the same time providing high quality service to prove that the air travel does not cost that much. The physical evidence that AirAsia will be able to provide to the customers is the boarding pass. The boarding pass will be sent to customer emails when they have done their web check-in. In another way, customers can receive a printed boarding pass if they check in physically at the check-in counter or self-check-in kiosk in the airport. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Amna and I'll be presenting the timeline for the execution of the Public Relations Crisis Communication Plan. When a crisis occurs, it is important to stay calm and figure out the best response. A carefully planned timeline helps organize the crisis communication plan systematically. Applying the principles of risk mitigation and finding the alternative solutions will help AirAsia to have better chances of survival in the long run. Here is the crisis communication timeline that AirAsia will be following during the ongoing pandemic. As you can see, there are steps involved when handling a crisis, which should be implemented in a timely manner. First is incident response, where you write the incident report and assess the damage. Next will be contacting the staff through email and the public as well as the shareholders. For this, you have to release an official press release or share the information on social media. The steps are carried out in a weekly manner which can be updated depending on the situation. Final step involves damage repairing and recovering the costs, followed by the documentation and analyzing. That will be all for our presentation. Thank you very much.